This is the Buff Shaman, and I'm going to be doing my third Friday the 13th movie review today, and it's going to be obviously Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, and it's actually my fourth review of the day, but a third of the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm going to be doing all of my DVDs for Friday the 13th that I have today. I used to have all of them, a couple of times, in fact, in my lifetime. But if you want to know why I don't have them anymore, you can check back in my Friday the 13th Part 2 review and get the story there. Anyways, I got the 4-pack of Friday the 13th 1 through 4, and I almost dropped it. Anyway, this did come with 2 pairs of 3D glasses, which were decaled to look like the hockey mask on the cardboard. And I really liked those, but I didn't like using them because they're hard on the eyes. But I plan on keeping them anyways because of the collector's value of them to me, even though the collector's value of having the DVD pack open was null and void. But unfortunately, I lent the movie pack to my ex, and I did that when we were still together. And her sister, who is not mentally an adult because of some handicaps, she got into them when my ex and I were at school, and her father was at work, and ended up losing the glasses. But even if you get this, I wouldn't recommend using those 3D glasses, as it produces incredible amounts of eye strain, and you have to get the exact right distance from the TV screen in order to actually get the 3D effect, and it's really just a big hassle and headache for very minimal 3D. So going into the movie, there will be spoilers here. I'm going to say now, if you don't know the plots of these, every one of my reviews is going to have spoilers in it for these. I wouldn't recommend just watching reviews if you haven't seen them. I'd recommend actually watching these movies. They're cultural icons, and most people who do reviews are going to assume you've seen them and give spoilers. The Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D takes place the starting the day after, actually concluding the day after, Friday the 13th Part 2, which makes it Saturday the 13th. And so, Saturday the 14th. And Jason escapes from the morgue. He was presumed dead at the end of the second movie, and taken to the morgue. He escapes the morgue. He's not dead. Surprise! And he ends up going and finding his way to a home called Higgins Haven. And he ends up holding up in the barn there while he's recovering. And as people go into the barn, he takes them out. And unfortunately, for the group of kids in this movie, that end up coming in with the daughter of the people that own the property, Higgins Haven. Little Miss Higgins had an encounter with Jason in the woods some years previous. There are a few continuity issues in this movie as well, but nowhere near as badly as in Friday the 13th Part 2, and definitely not as badly as in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which is Part 4. Now, going back to the story, as people enter the barn, Jason takes them out. And eventually, Miss Higgins finds her way into the barn, finds Jason there, ends up, as she hangs him from a chain, he pulls himself up, lifts his mask, and takes the chain off, and reveals his face, and she realizes that he had attacked her before in the woods, that he's the one that did it. Now, this movie has an incredibly iconic moment in it because this is the movie where Jason gets his hockey mask, his infamous hockey mask, the Red Wings mask, which uh, becomes important in part 5. But uh, his first time donning this mask, it became so popular that it became his trademark, essentially. And this is from the fact that he wasn't even the main character in the first movie, and he didn't really have a trademark in the second one yet. So it's all the way in the third one that he finally becomes what he would always be after that point, which is a hockey mask killer. Now, I'm going to give this movie 3.5 stars out of 4. It wasn't as entertaining as the second one. The characters weren't as well fleshed out, although uh, compared to later films, most of the later films, they were. I would say this is around the bottom in my list. I like it better than Freddy vs. Jason, Jason X. I like it better than Jason Goes to Hell, but it's right around that same area for me personally, and I would personally rate it at the same rating that I've given it on here, whereas part 2, I would personally rate it higher than the actual rating I gave it. 3.5 stars. Let me know what you thought about the characters in this one. Let me know what you thought about the iconic moment when Jason got his hockey mask. And please like and subscribe. Thank you.